So here's my thoughts, Jay, about that. So what's happening here? It's a bigger macro changes that has been allowed to happen. So what you are seeing here, and I can't disagree with you and your comments, what you're saying about what people should be doing. But unfortunately, I sort of disagree because, and here's my reasons. What's happening here? The system is trying to change the private rental sector as a wholesome process of how this whole industry works in the UK. Traditionally, you had somewhere around 2.5 million, 2.5 million landlords owning about 1 to 2 properties on average. 95% of them had that. So very small, large scale landlords. What's happening here in the next 10 years or so, or what's already started but happening and going to keep on, and I would say will conclude in the next 10 years, will be this. You will be seeing more money coming in from institutional investors like the pension funds, the hedge funds, the companies like John Lewis and places like that are funding lots of money into the private rental sector at the demise of the individual landlords. And this is happening because of regulations, which is being put on single landlords, which is drowning them, like EICRs, EPC, gas certs, ASTs, the rental reform bill, leasehold reform bill that's actually happening as well. So all of these is happening to deter or get rid of the individual landlords. At the same time, the big landlords, the new money coming in, are basically sacrificing themselves for the next 10 years while building up a platform for them to then grow from. So what they're trying to do here is to buy these single dwellings or properties that single landlords are selling and invest institutional money in it for the long term. Bit like what they did with greengrocers and Tesco's and all the big supermarkets. They came in, lowered the price, got rid of the competition, and then after that, then all the prices, you could see with our food prices at the moment how crazy it is. Same thing will happen with private rental sector. What they're doing is they're getting rid of the individual landlords, put their big money in, and over time, once the individual landlords have been phased out pretty much completely, guess what? The regulation right now, it feels like the tenants have more rights than landlords, which is true. It was getting worse and worse. But once the industry has switched over to institutional level of investors and investment and companies, they are then going to switch over the regulation back to the favor of those big landlords, and tenants are going to have less and less rights. You only need a couple of conservative governments to come in, and that will happen over the next, I would say, decade or so, if not before that. So to answer your question around, do we keep on investing? My answer is yes, only if you're going to start to grow the business quick and well. Because if you're going to buy one and then wait 10 years and buy another one, probably that's not an investment asset class you should be going into, because the regulation, the hard work, the amount of effort put in to deliver £300 a month on a single dwelling, probably not the right place. But if you're going to come in like a lot of my mentees, and I'm teaching people how to buy blocks of flats and grow your portfolio to 6 or 10 units at a time, then that's actually, I think, it's the best time to come in, because once you start to grow your portfolio and you get to the tens and the hundreds, you become one of the small but bigger landlords, and that's where we will end up. We will end up in the next 10 years or so with very big, large landlord, individual corporations holding power on all of these properties, let alone the fact that we're not building enough. But that's for another video, why we're not building enough properties.